Let's add an upcoming events widget. This is different than a calendar. This is going to be basically a little sidebar with events to show up in anything that's upcoming, and then once events are passed, they will disappear and they will be replaced with something newer. This is going to be linked to a Google Calendar. So let's first go ahead and let's go head over to Google. Now you have a Google account, so all you have to do is go to your calendar from your Google apps, and then if you don't have a calendar, what you're going to want to do is create one that's specific for your events. You don't want to share your personal calendar. So I created a calendar, and you just create one by pressing the plus sign over here, and that's called My Upcoming Events. And I'm going to go to the settings, so I'm going to click on these little thingies over there, and I'm going to settings and sharing, and make sure that you check the box that says make available to public, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're posting all your events on your website. And then under here, you could look through some of these other settings, but what you want is you want to copy the link that says public URL to this calendar. So you can just double, or I guess triple. Let's see, 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, 3 clicks. Well, anyway, click a bunch of times. And you copy that link, and then we'll go back to WordPress. Okay, so then next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure you're on the widgets. So let me backtrack a second. I'm at my, I went to customize, widgets, and then I'm going to go to my sidebar. Oh, I already added an upcoming events, but let's just remove it for a second. There, so this is where you should be. So I'm going to go to my sidebar, again, sidebar, add a widget, and I'm going to choose upcoming events, which is different than a calendar, obviously, because a calendar is just a calendar. So we'll click on upcoming events, and right here we'll give it a name. And this is the most important part, is you need to paste that link from the Google pages, from the Google calendar. And only 3 items to show. And let's see, I should be able to let me check something. I might have used the wrong link. Let me go back for a second, because I have a concert on there. Publish. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So let's backtrack for a second. Settings, settings and sharing. So the link you want was actually this one, public address in iCal format. There it is. Yes, I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong one. So just to clarify, where it says integrate calendar, it's public address in iCal format. That's the one you want. And so as you can see, as soon as I pasted it, my event showed up over here. So I can click on publish. Of course, here you can edit. You could say my upcoming events. And over what should happen now is when I go to my calendar, I have to make sure that you have your concert calendar set up. You could do something like, oh, tomorrow I have another concert, and this one is very big concert. And save. And then if I go to my website and I refresh, I don't want to leave this page. Let's click on publish. Let's try refreshing. Just reload. I only get one. So that's probably I think it just takes a minute. Actually, that's all it is. That's interesting because items to show, if I put 3, then only 1 shows. So how about I put all? I must maybe do 10. I only have 2 anyway. So you have to toy around with these things. They don't always work exactly as they're supposed to. But nevertheless, there's our upcoming events. And that's going to be displayed on all the different pages. Now, in some themes, you have the option of only having this show up in one page. And then for the individual pages, you could say, I don't want it to show up. You have to kind of see what's available. Remember, these are free themes, so you have to kind of play with it. Where you would want to look for that is actually right here. So say I go to site pages. I'm going to go to experimental for a second. And let me do a preview. So as you can see on my experimental page, I still have my upcoming events. Now, I don't think this is such a bad thing to have it show up everywhere, but what you could do is you could look at your page attributes, and under page template there should be more than one option. So see what else is available. In this case, there's one called guest book. So let's take a look and see how that looks. I should have done preview, not update. And see what that allows me to do is to have a different format. So if I go to the music, hold on, this is a mess. Okay, so under home, things are disappearing. I think it's because I keep not saving what I'm doing. So I have my upcoming events, but if I go to, I think it was experimental, I'm now using a different page format. So you might want that. You might want your home page to have, let's say, your picture and to show your upcoming events, but you might not want your music pages to show your upcoming events. And in that case, you would obviously have to go and do that for each of the pages. So in this case, I did it for experimental, and then I can go back to folk, and under page attributes, I'm going to change it to guest book, and update preview. And so now both folk and experimental don't have an upcoming events on the sidebar.